Their history is so much cooler over there than our history. That's the one bit I'm very jealous of Europe. They have so much more history. It's so much cooler.
Do they?
Dude, are you serious? The Greeks and the Romans don't have cooler history than we do?
They don't even exist anymore.
The Greeks
and the Romans.
Okay, the Greeks and the Italians then.
Oh,
they don't have cooler history?
Those people have no ties to what happened back then at all.
They are the same people. They descend from them.
That's like saying that you descend from the Romans.
Not enough to
think of yourself as a Roman?
No. I'm an American, brother. I'm a patriot.
Mm-hmm.
Rock flag eagle.
Rock like an eagle. And Tony Soprano, when he was bullying that Jewish guy, and he's like, "Where are the Romans now?" He's like, "You're fucking looking at them." Like
that was I think that was a Jew that he was.
Yes, that's what I said. He was a Jewish guy that was being bullied by Tony, and then the one smart Jewish son was like, "You've invited this golem into our home, and now you must pay for it."
Yeah.
That was good. I liked that character in the Jewish family because I wanted to be like, this guy's the only guy who's fucking nailing it with the predictions, and it doesn't take a genius. Like, Tony's gonna extort you. Obviously, you know he does that. Why are you inviting him into your little thing?
I liked how they extorted him though. They ran their poker game there, and Furio would come down there and bully the guy who was running the place. The guy we're talking about, the Jewish guy who owns the place. He's like, we needed a clean room with a clean towels and a smelling of fresh. We needed ice. We needed he's like laying up all these things. He's like, and I should work for free. And I should work for free. And he's like, Rotunda. Like you ever suck his dick? Oh, I make that beanie spin. He looks back at the Jewish guy. He's like, no bitch to me. Fucking Furio is my favorite character outside of like the main like cast and crew. He was great. Furio was kind of a decent man, you know. Obviously, he's like an extortionist who beats people with baseball bats and cripples them for money. But when he was talking about, I don't know, growing the olives back home and working with his hands and how that was the only time I truly felt happy. I always felt sorry for Furio. He seemed like a sad character.
Who was I don't know the name of the actor, but one of my favorite like shitty guys from Sopranos was Ralph Cifaretto.
Oh yeah.
Because he was like such a piece of shit that even Tony and the rest of the gang would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What are you doing here? Stop fucking assaulting people. You just murdered this girl right outside of our establishment." Tony, she was looking at me funny. What do you want me to say?
He goes, "She was a whore. She was a whore. And that wasn't my baby." That's like literally what he said to his boys. He's like, first of all, she was a whore. Second of all, it wasn't my baby. She was pregnant. And they're all like nodding along, like, yeah, that's okay. We understand. You had to beat her to death, Ralphie. It makes sense.
He ruined the vibe of the whole party. No one else was feeling it anymore.
Didn't he marry Tony's sister or something?
He was fucking her. He was.
I don't know if they got married, but they were going to, I think.
Right? Yeah. They were dating and they were fucking, and he was going to marry that other psychopath. Fucking the one that got out of prison with the Manson lamps. But Cifaretto, like that actor does such a good job that he is incredibly despicable. He beats that 19-year-old girl to death. And for no reason really, just over a little spat. And then kind of by the end of the show, I like him again. Like I like him again when his son gets crippled and he gets shot with the arrow and he's aspirated the blood and he's got brain damage and Ralphie's running so fast to save his kid and he's crying and he's apologizing to everybody. Then he burns Tony's horse alive. Like I'm feeling, and I'm like, damn, I think I'm on Team Ralphie more than Team Tony because like he's like, come on, the horse was never going to win again. My son's got brain damage. I need $250,000. You get your $250,000 for some reason. Why aren't you happy? Why aren't you thanking me with that big fat face of yours? And Tony just beats him to death and strangles him on the floor.
Because I fucking love this horse.
She was a beautiful creature. She was a beautiful creature.
Mm-hmm.
And the interpretation is that he's not talking about the horse. He's talking about the girl.
Yeah.
He beat to death. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that really rubbed Tony the wrong way. Which if I were in charge of that mob, that would have rubbed me the wrong way too, and be like, bro, we're all trying to have a good time, and then you take a joke so poorly, you murdered her, like where we're all hanging out right now.
I don't know. She fell.
and she's like
she
head
slipped.
caved in.
And by the way, he's icing his bloody fist while he says this. Like he's beating her to death, and his fist is bloody and sore, and he's icing it. He's like, I don't know. She slipped. She fell, clumsy woman. You know how they are.
Oh shit! That's the Matrix guy.
Yeah. It's not Paul Giamatti. It's
Joe Pantoliano.
That's it. Yeah, he's the one that's the traitor who's eating that delicious steak in the restaurant. He's in lots of stuff. He's good. I loved when his wig comes off when in the bathtub. He's like, oh fuck. Little things about that episode. Like, I wonder who wrote or directed it that had a little added those little extra things. Like the bowling ball starts falling down the stairs, and they look up from their murder, like boom, 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 and they're like. Then Tony goes, the bowling ball. And they're like, oh, go get it. It'll weigh him down. It's like, that whole episode's great. Tony's got the bleary eyes because Ralph sprayed him with fucking Raid in his eyes and during the fight. And Chris is all messed up on heroin.
Sopranos. Do you have a favorite?
Pine Barrens.
Pine Barrens, yeah.
I thought you'd say that.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite. I think Steve Buscemi directed that one. But I just love that whole bit with the two of them out in the woods fucking with each other, and he's eating the Tic Tacs and the ketchup packets and the relish. He's like, I ate them all. He's like, you got Tic Tacs? Give me some. I ate them all. He ate all the fucking Tic Tacs.
Paulie, they're gone. It's just like they're getting mad at each other.
Loses his shoe. He's got that rug wrapped around his foot. Like the whole bit with the Russian, and the Russians was just minding his own business. It was genuinely Paulie being jealous that this Russian immigrant that he doesn't think much of has a nice stereo and a nice entertainment center. And like, come to think of it, he's got the money that he owes us. It wasn't a big deal to him. He's joking about it. You were lucky this time. You beat me in poker. He's got the 10 grand or whatever. And he just picks a fight with him and beats him to death. He came at me. And Chrissy's like, yeah, I'll lie for you. He came at you, sure. Bullshit.
I hated that dude who like owned the sports store.
Oh, come on. You don't like David? Oh, it's Robert Patrick that plays the evil Terminator. He's Tony's ex-buddy from high school, and he's a gambling addict who essentially owns his own Dick's Sporting Goods, and Tony ruins his life.
Yeah.
That's a good episode too.
He ruins his own life with it was really one of those like Scorpion and the Frog, like you knew what I was when you. He
says that in. I think maybe even.
Oh, yeah, maybe
he maybe even says that to him. It's Davey. He's like, well, Davey, I knew that you got this store here, so if you lost, and he's like, you saw it 2 moves ahead, huh? Just eat, guys. He's like, Davey, this is my bread and butter. It's like he's ruining his life. His son has to go to a shitty school now. Like his son had gotten into some really nice school that he wanted to go to. Yeah. Like his whole life was.
The Meadows all mad. Like, you're the reason that Stevie can't go to Dartmouth.
Yeah, yeah, he was. And then I think that the character ends up in a mental institute in the Southwest. That's how that character ended up. That was the last we heard of. Davey Scatino, I think was his name. Something like that. I
didn't like him. Tony gave him a lot of outs, and he knew Tony was an actual gangster, and he was still like, I'm going to go gamble money I don't have. Yeah. Not even like at the sketchiest possible place to gamble.
Yeah, he could have gone to Atlantic City and played in a card game. It made no sense to be a degenerate here with someone who can ruin you. It made no sense for him. And Tony kept warning him, like you said. He was like, Davey, this is a serious game. Blah, blah, this isn't your game, Davey. Blah, 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 blah. And yeah, so he ruined his life. I didn't feel sorry for Davey. I didn't dislike Davey though. I had a dislike of his decision making, and so it was just like frustration watching him be like, God, take the out, and then Tony just can't help himself. He can't keep him out of the game because he's got dollars in his eyes, so he still gives him the option. But yeah, the more you watch it, you realize Tony's not so great a guy. I'm okay with it though. You know, he's a product of his environment. When you look at his upbringing and everything, I think Tony's a swell guy. I think he means well, but he's a sociopath and he can't fix that. But if you look at some of the nicer things he does, like
he's a terrible guy. He beats people up and extorts them. And
if you look at some of the not nice things he does through that lens, not a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. If you focus on the bad, you know, but if you look at some of the good things he did, you know, some of the charitable things he did, maybe, you know, he's a good guy. How about those ladies he gave those diamond pendants to?
He's a serial murderer, but he did like a horse. So
he only killed 3 or 4 people, I think, with his own hands. Roughly.
On screen. And I mean, most of those were like former allies, it seems.
Friends. Yeah,
friends. Yeah. He murdered his friends.
Well, they turned on him.
That that's a tally.
Did he kill Coco? I think that's the guy's name. The one.
No, he did. No, Sil and that other guy killed Coco. They. Oh wait. Coco's the one he knocked his teeth out, right?
Yes, he's the one who said that Tony's daughter had a little cream on her face, and he would add to it.
That's a good episode. That's the penultimate episode of the show. It's the second to last episode of the show. And yeah, that dude's nasty to Meadow, and Tony goes and pistol whips him and curb stomps all of his teeth out. And then in the next scene, Tony is in like a therapy session with his wife and a therapist or somebody, or maybe a counselor or something. And in the cuff of his pants leg is that man's tooth. And he's like reaching down and picking the man's tooth out of his cuff of his pants. It's a great scene. I love that when he stomps that guy. That's one of my favorite scenes in the whole show.
What was that guy thinking?
I don't know what that. He didn't know Tony was going to stomp his face in, but he did. Tony's like, my fucking daughter. And when he pulls the pistol, he like pistol whips the shit out of him with his little 38 revolver. And then Butch steps up and he's like, you're making a big mistake here. And like Tony points the gun at him. And when he does, there's blood coming out of the barrel. Like blood oozing out of the barrel. He's like, you want some? He's like, oh, no, I don't. Okay, continue on with your stomping. Yeah, it's great.
Do you wish they would have given Pussy I guess at that point, like a 4th chance? Send him to like Argentina or something?
No, Pussy got what he deserved. Pussy had to go. He was clearly weak. Even in that moment when they took him out, he was weak. You know, he was like,
what about Adriana?
Oh, definitely had to go. Like big time had to go.
I had a soft spot for her.
Yeah.
I did too. She was stupid. She wasn't calculating. She was just too stupid to know any better. And she got tricked by the FBI into saying too much when she wasn't really in any trouble at all. If she just shut her mouth the whole time and said lawyer, there wouldn't have been a big deal. But she was too stupid and too afraid because Christopher's a piece of shit and he beats her and makes her afraid. So
Christopher is a real piece of shit.
Yeah, but you know, in the game they're playing, she had to go.
Yeah, I guess they both did. I just liked Pussy. He was a fun character.
But no, he wasn't. Like, he beat that Elvis impersonator to death with a ball-peened hammer just because he noticed him with his FBI Connect at a party store. He would have never said anything. That guy was from New Jersey.
He didn't say a good character. He was fun though. Like he was doing stuff on screen that was interesting.
It's a wonderful show. I haven't done a rewatch in maybe a year.
I need to rewatch it as well.
I'm going to wait longer than that to do another rewatch of that, but